Hey everybody, welcome to this video on key update roundup in Zoho CRM for November.
My name is Vagdevi Ravishankar and I'm part of the CRM user education team, and I'm thrilled to be walking you through this session. While we have quite a few updates for this month, I'd like to present to you the top 10 updates for November. So these updates are guided selling, enhancements in assignment rules, sign up form for portals, actions by Zoho Flow, email relay, conditional aggregate fields, CRM calendar enhancements, enhancements in data export, strategy influencer, and parallel transitions. So please don't worry if you're not immediately able to relate to all of these features. We'll go over them one by one. We'll begin with guided selling, which is a new capability that we have introduced as part of the CPQ system for Zoho CRM. So why do you need built-in CPQ? CPQ stands for Configure, Price, Quote, and it helps with bespoke quote management. As you all know, CRM helps with successful lead to deal conversion. When a prospect comes in, you follow up with them, engage with them, and there's a lot of automation capabilities in CRM to help you do that, and you convert them to a successful deal. And the next set of actions after a deal is confirmed is to create a quote, get it approved, convert it into a sales order, invoice, and so on. Imagine you're walking into a departmental store and you're adding your items to cart. You're wheeling your cart to the billing line, and at the billing line, it takes more time than it did for your entire shopping experience. It's quite frustrating, isn't it? The same can be said for businesses that specifically deal in multiple product lines or service offerings, and businesses that have dynamic pricing. The price changes based on year-end sale, there are discounts, or the price changes when products are sold in combinations, right? So when businesses such as this, when they have multiple lines of products and services and have dynamic pricing, the quote creation becomes a little more challenging, and it's very difficult if that process is manual. There are many challenges such as human error. Then there are delays in creating a quote. There is often misinformation because the sales people are not informed on time of the changes in trends. They tend to make promises that cannot be kept. And if you're using legacy systems to create quotes, or if your sales information is different from your quote creation systems, then there is lack of communication between the two systems, and thereby you miss the sales context. So because of all these challenges, your CPQ system needs to be built into the Zoho CRM system, and that's what we have with us here. So CPQ stands for Configure, Price, Quote, and in the CPQ engine, you will configure multiple product combinations. You will enter the details of dynamic pricing, that is when to have discounts, what product combinations have different pricing, and so on. And this thereby makes the quote creation much more efficient, accurate, and tailor-made for your customers. Let's look at this with an example of hotel management company called Zilker Hotels and Resorts. Let's say when somebody books a conference space at Zilker, let's say they want to run a seminar for 15 people or so. So they are booking a conference space at Zilker. Whenever a conference space is booked, Zilker wants to offer a whiteboard set and LCD projector as complimentary items, and they also want to cross-sell valet parking and lunch buffet. Say this is their need, and if every time they have been doing this manually, the quotes are bound to take time. There could be errors, but let's see how CPQ helps solve this challenge. So once you have fed all the details into the CPQ engine, as you create a quote, the system will start suggesting and adding products on its own. So here is an example where I create a quote in the Zoho CRM system for a customer, and when I add just a line item called conference space, and I mention the details, the only thing manually that I'm doing is adding this particular line item. And when I save the quote, you can see that the whiteboard set and LCD projector have been added automatically the quote at a zero price, that is, it's a free product. And then not only that, CPQ is also, so I have a CPQ strip where CPQ is suggesting valet parking and lunch as additional items that I can add to the quote, because it's my organization wants me to cross sell these two items. So if the customer says, all right, I will just go and add those items to quote. So the only manual thing that we have done here is to add one primary product line item, which is the conference space in this case, and the other additional products, and the system has also made sure that the price of that is free when it is added with conference space. And then we've also had product suggestions from CPQ. So this is what essentially the CPQ engine helps you do. You can add mandatory products and make them complementary. You can get the system to suggest products to the salespeople. Thereby, your quote creation process becomes easier. Right, so this is the backend, setup page where you can, when a selected product is added, and you can still filter that using criteria. Then the action is that you can have mandatory products added, and you can suggest products and so on. Right, so this is in short what CPQ helps you do. And to this capability, we have added something called guided selling. Now, so far in CPQ, we saw how when you add a product, then the system starts suggesting products or adding further additional combinations to it and so on. Now, there might be a challenge for salespeople to choose the right product in the first place. So imagine, in a similar scenario, the context of Zilka Hotels and Resorts, they offer multiple holiday packages, and a customer comes in saying, I would like to, see if I can take a holiday package. So the solution or the product offered to this person, could vary depending on their preferences. What is their age? Are they traveling as a group? Which part of, a particular location they want to go to? What's their budget? So depending on all of this, you may have a lot of options, but you don't know the right option, to immediately give to this person, because that selection of the right option depends on a lot of factors. So in such cases, guided selling as part of Zoho CRM, it will help your salespeople make product recommendations, the right recommendations to customers. This is very interesting because it's an interactive interface where once your salespeople give the right customer preferences, the system narrows down the results for them. It works something like this. Now, let's say in a similar context that I mentioned, a customer comes in for a quote for a holiday package. So once the salesperson creates the quote, in order to choose the product, they can go and choose a guided selling flow. And the system asks them to enter certain preferences. What is the trip type that the customer is looking for? Now, how many people are traveling? And what is the preference? Is there any preference for region? So which part of, say, in this example, which part of India they want to go to, what is their trip duration, and what is their budget, and so on. So if you had 100 options before, the system will now narrow it down very much so that you can select the right option that is relevant for the customer easily. Right? So you can just go select that item and add it to your quote. And on this item, if you have further price rules and product rules, those will also get applied. Right? So guided selling helps you in the first place primarily with the choice of the right product based on the customer's preferences. And for that product, you can choose to have price rules and product rules. They will kick in if there is dynamic pricing and combinations involved. So this is how the guided selling setup looks like. All you need to do is define some what we call questions and map them to input options, input fields. So you can say that the question is, what is the preferred trip type, and what field should the salesperson update in order to give the answer? The product's trip type. So this way you can map questions to input fields and build your guided selling flows. Therefore, guided selling primarily helps your salespeople choose the right product from a wide range of options based on the customer's exact preferences. Another very interesting point about guided selling is that this filtering, this narrowing down of options is not done just based on the product's factors, but also those of associated modules. For instance, contacts, deals, accounts, and vendors. So because guided selling, because CPQ is built into the CRM system, you can filter the product choices based on other sales parameters and not just the product factors. Let's look at how this works with a quick example. I'll get into the product, and this is, let's say this is the CRM account of Zilker watches, which deals with the manufacture and sale of wristwatches. Let's say, I have a customer who is interested in purchasing a wristwatch, and based on their choices, let's see how to navigate a guided selling flow. So I'm going to create a quote, right? So let's say quote for Leota. The contact name is Leota, right? And I'm not making a product choice because I don't know what is the right fit for this customer. So let me navigate to a guided selling flow, which says best options for watches. Okay, so the system is now asking me a bunch of questions. Do they want a waterproof watch? Yes, waterproof is selected. What is the color preferred? Color is gold, rose gold, for instance. And warranty period is 6 months or 1 year. So these are all input fields, basically fields from the products module. Next, the product case material should be steel or aluminium. And then the category is, let's say this customer, it's a lady so I'm choosing ladies or unisex. Then the unit price, they want a budget of 3,000 or less. Let me go and check that again. So you can do that as well. You can check your options. Ladies are all right. This is less than or equal to 3,000. Vendor name. Now here is the interesting part. So far, all these 6 factors were all product related factors. So they are all fields from the product module. You are filtering based on product parameters. But here you are now filtering product choices based on associated modules parameters as well. So vendor is a different module in CRM. Contacts is a different module in CRM. So if that particular watch is from a specific vendor, that is what the customer prefers. So yes, so customer has a vendor preference. So the vendor name, let's say it contains Titanics. So this is the name of the vendor, for instance. And here is another parameter which is actually coming from the contacts module. Now let's say this particular customer is a homemaker who's also studying, right? So the contact occupation is student homemaker. So what this means is the system will now start giving me product choices, products that were previously sold to homemakers or students. Like other customers whose occupation was homemaker or student, what did they prefer? What did they buy? So the system will now filter choices based on associated contact details, which is very powerful. So this is what is happening is the system is recommending products. Hey, you know what? Previous customers who were students and homemakers bought product X and Y. So maybe you recommend this for this person also. That is what the system is saying here. So this way your guided selling flows are much more powerful because the filtering is not done based just on the product factors, but also those of associated modules. All right. So you can, change the and or patterns, criteria patterns. So I'm just saying that, okay, let me filter by the customer's occupation because I would like to narrow down by this. Submit. Now you have, say, a couple of options. Oh, great. So from an otherwise 10 to 15 products, now I have narrowed down to 1. So let me add the selected item to quote. So this is what guided selling helps you with. So I'll just save this quote. And if you have any product rules or price rules for this particular product, they will kick in, right? So how did we arrive at this? So under in your setup page, under CPQ, navigate to guided selling. And here you have the settings that I already have for guided selling. You can see that the best options for watches, all I did was add certain questions, define the title and, describe that question and select the input field. So you can either select product module or other related modules. So if you want to add a new question, we can add one. we can say what is the customer's age. Let's say by age you want to you want the product to filter options. So enter the age of the customer. Let's just call it customer's age, contact age, right? You want to add a new question. Let this be a product factor. So you want to understand, so you want to filter by whether the product comes with accessories, whether accessories are bundled in. So does the customer prefer accessories to be bundled? Yes or no? So this is again accessories bundled. Maybe a watch with a bracelet or a ring, right? So that is another question. So these are just a couple of new questions we just added, right? Save. Now you go back to the quote. And when you go to the guided selling flow, now you see these couple of new questions that we added. So once you fill these, you will again have another set of filters applied, and you will further narrow down the product choices. Therefore, guided selling helps you navigate the right products for your customers based on their preferences, not just the product preferences, but also based on other associated factors from related modules, right? So that is guided selling for you. We just looked at a demo of guided selling. So please give this a try if you haven't already. It's very useful. And up next, we have enhancements in assignment rules. Now, assignment rules, as you know, allow you to distribute incoming records automatically to your sales teams. Often, when you're using assignment rules, you may have run into a couple of challenges where, you'd want to really know how to assign the right leads to the right people. Or you may want to know when is the best time to assign it to a user. You don't want to assign leads when they are on a holiday, right? And how much to assign to a person? Are they going to be overloaded if continuously, if there are two people and you've said let city A go to person A and city B go to person B. If continuously only city A leads come in, now this person A is overburdened, right? How do you control how much is too much for somebody, right? So for all of these gaps, now we have enhancements. We have record owner suggestion by Zia. So this solves the problem of whom to assign a particular lead to, who is the best person to take care of this. So using past patterns, after studying past patterns and trends in your CRM account, Zia starts suggesting the right person for a particular lead based on certain parameters. So you can choose to go with Zia's suggestion or make your own decision. But the recommended owner by Zia is there for you to help with whom to assign a record to. And this month, November, we released this particular enhancement where you can choose to assign records to owners based on their availability. So you can choose both online status and shift timing as options to check their availability and then assign the records to them. This ensures that you assign the records to those who are available to take them up. And then you have a setting called assignment threshold, using which you can define the workload for each of your team members. So you can say that user 1 can handle 40 inquiries per day, user 2 can handle 30, and so on. So what happens when there is a spillover? So after 40, what happens? The rest of the leads, those spillovers, get routed to a default assignee, which you can also choose, right? So this way, assignment threshold is a setting as part of assignment rules that help you decide the workload limits for each person in your sales team. So this way, we have fine-tuned this capability of assignment rules by helping you with system indicators for assignment threshold, Zia suggested owner, and assigning records to users based on their shift timing and online status. Right, so that is the set of enhancements in assignment rules. Next up, we have a very interesting update. This is called sign up form for portals. Now, those of you who are already using client portals, you're familiar with the idea of opening up client or vendor portal where customers or vendors can directly log into their instance of CRM and update their details. For the uninitiated, client portal is nothing but an external portal login that you will invite your customers to, and using that customer can update their own, say, contact details or preferences in the CRM account. So they don't have to go through your sales people for something as simple as an address update or a ID update, right? Specifically consider healthcare, where you could give a portal login to the set of patients, saying, log into this portal and upload your health reports. Or insurance companies can use client portals to open up portal logins for their customers so that they can upload their insurance documents, proofs, and whatnot. Right? So they can, now you're letting the customers update some of their own details through the client portal, right? For instance, the hospitality industries could use it, could open up client portals for customers to update travel documents, ID documents, change the dates of travel preferences. So this way, client portal could help. Healthcare industries could, let their customers upload health reports and appointment availability details. Insurance companies could open up client portals so that customers can update claim documents, premium details. Non-profits could open up donor portals so that donors can see what has been done with their donations and update the time they have for volunteering and so on. And real estate companies can open up client portals so that customers can update their property photographs, latest photographs. They can make changes to location and so on. And say education, universities could open up student portals where students can view their latest mark sheets. So as if teachers update the mark sheet of a student, the student will be able to see that through their login portal and the fee details and so on. So there is a client portal facility in Zoho CRM which you can enable, and you can invite your customers to join that portal and proceed to log in and change details. So this client portal facility is already there in CRM. So far you had to choose certain contacts and invite them to the client portal. Now you can enable sign up forms. So you can place a direct sign up form. It will look like a web form. You can place a sign up form for portals and get your prospects to directly sign up for the portal from the website or emails. Now how does that work? Let's look at a good example. Let's say in the context of Zilker Hotels and Resorts, Zilker chooses to put out a sign up form for their customers to directly sign up for a login portal, client portal, and say update their travel preferences, what they require, right? So how does this work? Now let's say I am on the Zilker website. We'll go to the contact page. So the Zilker's site is saying, welcome to Zilker Hotels. So skip long calls and queues, sign up for your own portal account and update your contact details and requirements. Our agent will be in touch with you as soon as they can. So now it's not typically a web form, it's a portal in itself, where once I sign up, an agent will see the details. I can go and update certain details in that portal. I can update travel preferences and I can update documents as long as I have the permissions to do so. As a CRM administrator, you can define portal user permissions. So as long as or if you want to say you want your portal user only to view details and not update anything, that is also your choice. But typically, you can decide the access levels for your portal users. So if I sign up for a portal, directly I can enter my details, update details, and Zilker's agents will be in touch with me. Now let's say I'm submitting my name, say email, right? I'm giving a password. Let's enter the CAPTCHA. So these are all default settings that are available in your portal forms. CAPTCHA, password, All these are necessary for a sign up form. So these are all inherently available. So let's say a client comes in and submits, this sign up form, their details on a sign up form. Now, this customer will receive an authentication code in their inbox. So let's just quickly sign up and see how that works. I'm sorry. There you go. So you will need, yes, I got it here, verification code. So the verification code is prompted and I enter the code. Okay, verify and sign up. Now I'm directly entering my portal login for Zilker. So here, as you can see, as the portal user, I won't see anybody else's details. I'll see only my details. And if the admin has, set certain access level permissions where I can only view details or update details, those access permissions will apply. So this way, you can open up the portal and you can get the users to sign up directly for the portal login. So in order to do that, you need to go to your channels, portals. This is how your client portal looks like. Now, if you go into the portal and users, you will see that Vagdevi Ravishankar, the person that just signed up, and the source is portal forms. And how does this work? In the portal configuration, you can go to manage portal forms, create a new portal form. This looks like a web form. So you can just say new sign up form for portals, Zilker, something like this. The contacts module, portal form, user type is client portal. So this is the default, mandatory fields for the sign up form. If you want, you can add more. What is the title, first name, and so on. So once you're done adding your fields, similar to a web form, you just go to next. So this is your landing page URL by default. You can also, choose an owner, add tags, say client portal signups. So this way you can filter out these records easily as well. Save, right? So now you get your sign up URL code. This you will copy and put on your website. So let's go to the contact page. Say you have another button, right? You want to customize this. Go to the contact page. Maybe add you want to add a new element, say a button. To sign up or register here, something like this. Update the link. So the link that you just copied will go here. All right, save. So you put it as a button here, and those who click this button will again land on the portal sign up. So let's just publish this. Right, our site with the portal form is ready. So go to the contact module. You see, this is the button we just added. You can see the first name, last name, email. The form that we just created is here. So this is how sign up form for portals works. You can get users to directly sign up for their portal login from your website, right? So the authentication code is received, and once they authenticate, they are in. So that's sign up form for portals for you. Please give it a try. Next up, we have a very interesting update called Actions by Zoho Flow, which is a new feature. And if you're anything like me, you're going to love this feature because it minimizes the dependency on developers. Now, workflow rules in Zoho CRM help you automate routine actions in the system, right? So if these actions are like sending email, creating a task, or making a field update, or adding a tag. These are all inherent actions native to the Zoho CRM application. So it's easier done. You can simply define the email or define the tag and create the workflow rule. But if the action that is to be automated, if that has to happen outside the CRM system in a third-party application, you often have to rely on custom functions and webhooks and get help from developers to do this. Even if it is a simple action such as pushing contacts to a third-party email marketing application or creating a ticket in a third-party app, you would probably have to get the help of developers to create the right functions and do this action. Now that is no longer going to be the case, because using a low-code interface, you can do this yourself. You can create automated actions in a third-party applications yourself using Actions by Zoho Flow. So Actions by Zoho Flow contains a library of apps which you can just select, define the action using Zoho Flow's interface, and get them executed. Let's look at this with the simple example of Zilker Hotels and Resorts. Let's say at Zilker, whenever a hotel booking gets cancelled, that action, that trigger of cancellation should automatically create a support ticket in their ticketing application, in this case Zoho Desk. So if the app is available in the Actions by Zoho Flow library, you can just pick that app and start creating your actions. So in this example, let's say whenever a hotel booking gets cancelled in CRM, a ticket against that cancellation should be created in Zoho Desk. Let's look at how that works. I'm going into the CRM account. All right. So let's go to the deals module. Okay, so we have this particular deal in the value proposition stage. Now let me go and update this to cancelled. Let's say the booking gets cancelled because of a price reason. Now Zilker wants to investigate what happened, because they want to follow up on this cancellation, follow up with the customer and sort anything. Because of this, they want to create a support ticket in Zoho Desk against this cancellation. So now when you go to Zilker's Zoho Desk account, and let's give this a quick refresh. There, you have booking cancellation ticket for Shanae. So this is the deal that we just cancelled. So in Zilker's Desk account, you have a new ticket that has been created, right? You have a notification. So now this action has been automated. How? Using Actions by Zoho Flow. So how does that work? Go to your workflow rules under automation. This is the booking cancellation workflow rule that I have created that has prompted this action. So whenever I said whenever the stage is modified as cancelled, this particular Actions by Zoho Flow, create ticket in Zoho Desk, this will get executed. Now let's create a new rule and see how this can be set up. For the sake of this demo, I'll create this again. So let's go to the deals module. Let's say ticket creation in Zoho Desk against booking cancellation, right? Next. So you select record action whenever a record gets edited and updated, right? So repeat this whenever a specific field gets modified. In this case, the stage field is modified to the particular value called cancelled. At that point, for all deals, here you find Actions by Zoho Flow. So click on Actions by Zoho Flow. For the sake of this demo, I'm going to create a new action. I'm going to search for my application. So here is Zoho Desk. You also have Zendesk, Freshdesk, and so on. So if you want to automate any actions in those apps, you can do that as well. Now I'll select Zoho Desk. Go to next. So what is the action I want to automate here? In this case, it is creating a ticket. right? Create a ticket. So next, now I have to choose a connection. Let's call this connection ticket creation against canceling, something like this. Now the create ticket action is already selected. So let me authorize this. So you have to authorize this connection in Zoho Flow because we are going to use Zoho Flow in order to build this action. So you authorize, right? Connect. Now my desk account is, CRM and desk is being connected using Zoho Flow. You accept this. Next. Create a ticket against booking. So what is the module that's going to dictate this action? Deals. So only when a field in the deals module gets updated, we have this ticket creation. So you select deals, and here is where the magic happens. The flow interface comes in, and this whole action creation is powered by Zoho Flow, which is a low-code application from Zoho. So you can select merge fields. So you can map the fields, which is the portal in desk that this ticket should be created in, which is the department, which is the layout, and so on. So here, let me just say this is the ticket for the particular deal name. We are going to use a merge field. So deal name. So you can also write a description. So this booking has been cancelled for what is the deal name, right? The deal owner is, select the deal owner. This deal owner is so and so, and we need to reach out to the customer. You can choose the contact name, right? Contact name. We can reach out to the customer to follow up on the cancellation, something like this. So you can use merge fields like this to describe this ticket. Choose the status that it has to be in. It has to be in open, right? So this way you can choose all the fields that are required and configure your action. So once that is done, your flow action is created. You just need to associate it to this particular workflow rule and save. So similarly, whenever that particular action occurs, whenever the cancellation occurs, a ticket will be automatically created. So this is how actions by Zoho Flow works. From the library of applications available, you can build your own automated actions in third-party apps. That is actions by Zoho Flow for you. So you choose the application, choose the action required, build a connection, define the details of the automated action, and you'll be done. So next up is enhancements in email relay. So before we go to what the enhancements are, let's understand email relay better. So what's email relay? Whenever you send emails via Zoho CRM, right, whether it's mass email or individual emails, those emails are sent via the Zoho CRM servers. Now, Zoho CRM servers now become shared servers for across customer groups, and because of this, you could have some challenges in email deliverability. So in order to help the chances of emails getting sent better, to minimize bounces, you can integrate your own email servers with Zoho CRM, and this way the emails you send in Zoho CRM are relayed from CRM server to your server, and then they get sent to the recipient. This will improve the likeliness of emails getting sent to your recipients. You can install antivirus software in your servers, email relay servers, so that malicious emails are detected. So you can take a backup of the emails that are being sent in your servers. So all of these are benefits to having email relay. And in email relay, we now have OAuth login for Gmail, Office, and Outlook. What this means is that you don't have to authenticate, you don't have to give your Gmail or Office 365 credentials to CRM. You will, through the OAuth login, you will log in through Gmail you will only give an authentication code to CRM and not your credentials directly to the CRM. So this is the improvement where OAuth login has been introduced for Gmail Office 365 Outlook. So you can go ahead and use this and create a more secure integration of your email servers with CRM. Moving on, we have another enhancement called conditional aggregate fields. Now, in any typical subform, for example, a quote, you have a bunch of line items, and in that subform, you will see an aggregate field, right? Something like a grand total. Now, aggregate field is nothing but, say, for example, a sum function is applied on that aggregate field, and all the amount fields in the line items are totaled up and given as grand total. That is the aggregate field for this particular subform. Similarly, you will have aggregate fields in multiple subforms, and you may have a need where you don't want the aggregate field to total up the amount for all rows in that subform, but only for specific rows, for specific line items. For instance, if you're creating a quote where a customer has bought a bunch of products and services, you don't want the grand total of all the line items, but you want one aggregate field to total up the sum for just the products bought. They bought 2 products, so the sum total of 2 products. They bought 2 services, sum total of 2 services, and then finally the grand total. Right? You could have requirements like this. This is called conditional aggregate field, where the aggregate is done not for all line items, but for specific line items as defined in a condition. Right? For instance, here I have another example of Zilker Hotels and Resorts in the same context, where say they're putting together an event and there is a customer who is purchasing tickets for that event. Now, Zilker has a concept of group tickets, single tickets, couple tickets, and so on. So this customer, say they are purchasing multiple sets of tickets. They are purchasing 2 group tickets. So according to Zilker, anything more than 3 is a group. So there is a group of 4 who has purchased the tickets, a group of 10, and then a single ticket. So now Zilker wants to total up group tickets and single tickets separately. So group ticket total. Now you have a group of 4, and the list price for each ticket is 500. So 500 into 4, you have 2000. That's the total of the first group ticket. The total of the second group ticket, you have a group of 10 people purchasing the ticket, so the total is 5000. Now, only 5000 plus 2000, 7000. That's the grand total of the group tickets alone. And then we have a single ticket, which is 500. So, I have 2 conditional aggregate fields here, which is group ticket total is 7000 and single ticket total is 500. So, the total grand total is 7500. This way, you can define specific conditions and have your conditional aggregate fields. Let's see how this works in the product with a quick example. Let me go to, so in order to get this done, you will have to customize the module. Go to modules and fields, and under say in this case the quotes module, let's go and add another aggregate field. So these are the 2 conditional aggregate fields that I just added. We'll add another one and call it maybe couple tickets, where when the quantity of tickets is 2, that's called a couple ticket. That's another ticket set. So couple tickets, right? So the aggregate function is sum. The subform field that needs to be totaled up is the amount, decimal places. Now aggregate specific rows only. This is the new introduction. So this particular option is the latest enhancement. So aggregate specific rows only. What is the condition? Condition is quantity of tickets is equal to 2. Done. So now we have defined the conditional aggregate field for couple tickets. Save this. Okay, now we've saved the layout. Let's go and add another quote. Right. So let me purchase the Zilker user conference ticket Let's say first we purchase a group ticket, then we purchase a single ticket, then we add a couple ticket. Quantity is 2. We add another couple ticket. Quantity is 2. Then we add another group ticket. A group of 20. Okay. So if this is the case, now you see we have about 5 line items, and the grand total of all the 5 line items is here. But you also have the conditional aggregate field values here. So the group ticket total is 12,500 because you have 20 into 500, you have 10,000, you have 2,500. And there are 2 couple ticket sets, which is 1,000 plus 1,000, 2,000. 2,000 is the couple ticket aggregate. That is the field we just created. And the single ticket is 500. So in total it is 15,000. So this way you can have conditional aggregate fields set up for your subforms. Save this. Okay, right. So that's about this particular update. Up next, we have a useful enhancement that will help your daily life with CRM. We have unavailability sync across calendars. Now, if you're using other Zoho apps, you may create calendar events in those apps as well. But if CRM does not know that, you could have a meeting or task created in the CRM's calendar, which is overlapping with the other application events as well. So that is now solved with this unavailability sync across 3 applications, which is Zoho CRM, your Zoho CRM calendar itself, the Zoho calendar application, and Zoho Recruit. For instance, now this is my CRM calendar. Okay. And then this is my Zoho calendar events. And then I have my Recruit calendar. Now let's say we create a new event in Recruit. So on the 1st of December, there is a new event at around 11 a.m. Interview discussions. Right? You save this. So 10 to 11, you have interview discussions. In Zoho calendar, you go to, say, the 1st of December, and you say you have team meetings. Save. Right? Now, if you go to your CRM's calendar and give this a refresh, right? So you say first unavailable. Why? Because you have team meetings as per your Zoho calendar, right? And 10 to 11, you have interview discussions from Recruit calendar. So when you have engagements marked in Zoho Recruit or Zoho calendar, that will be understood by Zoho CRM and you will be marked as unavailable. Others 500. Will just see that you are unavailable for any other CRM based event, sales based appointment. So this unavailability sync across these apps makes it very useful to create appointments at the right time for your teams. All right. And next up, we have a very useful enhancement on data export. Let's get into the product and see what those enhancements are. So I'm going to the setup page. Under data administration, click export. First of all, the number of records per export, that limit has been increased to 200,000 records. So you were originally only able to export about 3,000 records per export. Now the limit has been increased to a whopping 200,000 records per export. So that's going to be very useful. And once you start an export, you can select the particular module, say inquiries. Now you can choose the particular custom view you want to export, either all inquiries or say my inquiries or open inquiries, today's inquiries, whatever list view that you have, you can export. And in that list view, you can either you can either decide to have the fields from that particular custom view, or all fields, or choose the specific fields you want, right? And apart from existing custom views, if you want to base it on certain criteria, okay, you don't want to go by custom view but a different criteria, say all the city is a particular city, or the source, inquiry source is contact us form. So then you can also filter records for export by criteria, right? So these are very useful enhancements for convenient exports, right? So now once you select your settings, click export, and as your export gets scheduled, I will also like to mention that you can download and export multiple number of times, right? Multiple times. You can go to the export details page or the history page for further details. So these are some notable enhancements with data export. In addition to making these exports from this particular page, you can also directly export list views from those module. Say you go to say junk inquiries or my inquiries, actions, export inquiries. So you don't have to go through the backend settings. You can directly export a list view and you'll be redirected here. Here you can again choose whether fields from the custom view, all fields, or choose the specific fields you want on the export. So these are the useful enhancements in data export. You now have 200,000 records per export, and you can export custom views or based on specific criteria and select the fields you want for the export. You can download and export multiple times. The export link is available for you for a period of 7 days from the date of scheduling the export. You can also directly export from the list view and consult the export details page for history and other reference, right? So this set of 8 updates covers the enhancements for the month of November, and shortly before this month we also had many more useful updates. A couple of more that I would like to point out are ZIA strategy influencer enhancements and parallel transitions. So first let's understand what strategy influencer is. Now, as you know, ZIA has many artificial intelligence enabled possibilities such as predictions, recommendations. So it studies your data for patterns and trends and starts recommending or suggesting a few items. And on that note, we have strategy influencer, which uses predictive as well as prescriptive analysis in order to help you set a particular target for your business and also guide you on how to arrive at that particular target. Let's look at this with an example of the same Zilker Zilker hotels and resorts example. Let's say ZIA has studied the patterns of the deals won by Zilker, and ZIA says, hey, you know what, you can achieve a target of 100,000 in the next month. And ZIA doesn't stop there. It's not just prediction but also prescription, right? Prescriptive analysis. ZIA also says, in order to achieve the 100,000 target, you need to do X number of things. What are they? The number of bookings closing this month with specific deal size of 25k to 50k should be so much, and you need to bring in more deals from IT companies. So maybe because in the past IT company deals have had higher value, so bring bookings from IT companies in order to meet the target. And then the number of bookings closing this month from India, from one particular region, should be so much. So if you meet all of these if you follow all of these guidelines, you are more likely to achieve the target that is set. So that is what ZIA is telling you. And ZIA also gives you the actual versus expected number. So you already have 188 bookings from IT companies, so you're good. The expected number of such bookings is 100. You already have 188, so you're good. But then the bookings that are closing this month within the range 25k to 50k. Now the actual number you have is only 120, but the expected number is 150, so you need to work more. Similarly, the number of bookings created from India companies, that is actually 200, but expected is 250, so you need to put more effort there. So ZIA is especially guiding you on how to meet the target that is suggested by Zia, right? This is what strategy influencer does. It helps you create your business strategy. So you may choose to modify these goals, edit these contributing factors, edit the numbers, right? But that is, you can always do that. But the benefit here is Zia is doing the groundwork for you by pointing you in that direction. You can go and edit details if you want to, but the groundwork is already done for you. Zia has already studied the patterns and is doing the first initial set of steps for you by showing you what the target number could be and what are the contributing factors, how you need to achieve that target. So in the product it looks like this, where Zia assigns a target and a list of contributing factors opens up with the actual and expected numbers. And now with the latest enhancement, these contributing factors are now grouped into what we call segments, so that it is easier for you to understand and wade through these contributing factors. So this is Zia Strategy Influencer for you. And then we also have parallel transitions, which has been a very sought after feature, a lot in demand, and we have released this a few months earlier. So with parallel transitions, you can get more done in less clicks. That is, let's say if you have used blueprints, you know that you create a process flow where you add states, the deal stages or the particular module stages as states, and the transitions help you move from one state to another. You will define who needs to do what at a particular step. This way, you systematically define a process so that everyone involved in that process follows that in a certain way. So systematic process can be achieved, and you can promote compliance in your organization across teams through blueprints. So while you create a process flow in a blueprint, before the introduction of parallel transitions, you always had to create transitions one after the other. So this was sequential earlier. Now that resulted in somewhat bloated blueprints, and in reality, your transitions need not always happen in a sequential manner. It could happen simultaneously. For instance, take this example of Zilker Hotels and Resorts. They are putting together an event, and they have created a blueprint process flow to manage that event. So first they are confirming dates, then they are confirming schedule, they have to do logistics and so on. So when it comes to logistics, they have to book a space, they have to book travel tickets, they have to book catering, they have to print some booklets and brochures. So all of these logistics items need not necessarily be done one after the other. They can be done simultaneously and be handled by different groups. So all of this put together is called the logistics prep work. It need not necessarily come one after the other, right? So with parallel transitions, you can achieve this setup of simultaneous actions being combined and clubbed together as one single transition, right? That is what parallel transition helps you achieve. And now you no longer have bloated blueprints, and you can get more things done in less clicks. So teams could simultaneously update their particular transitions and move this record from one state to another. Let's quickly go to the product and see what this looks like. So you need to go to process management blueprint. I'll go to the deal follow-up blueprint. So here I have a process flow configured for a simple deal follow-up process. And here at the negotiation review stage, before the deal is marked as closed and won, I would like the negotiation to be reviewed. The draft should be reviewed by legal team as well as sales manager. So two teams need to review simultaneously. This need not happen one after the other. This could be parallel. So therefore, I have included a parallel transition. So all you need to do is add the transition and mark it as a parallel transition. So for instance, let me delete this transition. When you add a particular transition, simply name the transition and mark this as a parallel transition, and then you'll be able to branch out. Let's say lost parallel transition, save. Okay, so now you have branched out into sub transitions. Now you can name your sub transitions. Okay, so for now I will delete this transition and I will keep it as lost, because the other outcome from here is either reviewed or lost, right? So this could be lost, right? So now in this parallel transition, you can define those. This works like any other transition. You will just not have the after transition because this is your parent transition. It's only after this entire set of sub transitions are over can you automate something. Otherwise, these sub transitions will only have before and during. So who needs to review this? The legal team. You can select the legal team person here. And what do they need to do? They need to maybe make notes as mandatory, fill certain fields. Similarly, you can delegate this stage to the sales manager and what they need to do in the during stage, right? Once all of this is over, then you will have after. So once all these 5 or 6 sub transitions, once they are over, then a certain action needs to be automated. There you will, for the parent parallel transition, you will have after transition settings, right? So this is how parallel transitions works. So once you're done, you click republish, publish your blueprint and go to the deals module. Let's navigate a particular deal. Let's edit this, maybe change the status and save it. Now your blueprint has kicked in. So for now, the sake of the demo, I have empty transitions. Let's wait for the negotiation stage. Now, yes. So now the quote draft has been submitted for negotiation. This is how the parallel transition will look like to your sales teams. So you have these 2 sub transitions. So when a legal team owner looks at this particular record, they can go to this transition, fill their details and save, reviewed. You attach documents, right? And so they can, without depending on anyone, they can do their set of transitions. Similarly, the sales manager review could also happen. But as long as only one sub transition is met, you will have, like this transition is only half done. Similarly, the other team could come in and enter their, transition requirements, and then this moves to the final stage, right? That's when the entire parallel transition is defined as done. So this way you can set parallel transitions and have actions happen simultaneously instead of sequentially, and get your process flows much more refined. That's parallel transitions for you, right? So overall, we looked at a lot of updates. Let's do a quick recap. We looked at guided selling in CPQ. We looked at enhancements to assignment rules, sign up form for portals, extending the capabilities of automation beyond the native actions in CRM using actions by Zoho Flow, how you can build secure integrations of email relay using OAuth introduction, and you can build conditional aggregate fields. You can sync your non-availability across calendar apps from Zoho CRM calendar to Zoho calendar to Zoho recruit. Then there are a handful of updates to data export, useful ones. And then you have a Zia strategy influencer helping you plan your action items towards this particular target. And you have parallel transitions where you can have actions done simultaneously as against sequentially. So these are the updates for this month. I hope you find all of them useful and that you're able to give this a try. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great one.